this year now we pay 6 cents 24, and these are all the things which are financed about this financial thing, and each consumer of electricity has to pay this. Each kilowatt hour. Yeah. Each household, especially the households. We have the regulation that a specific amount of enterprises, now it's a little bit more, like 2000, if they prove against another federal agency that they have a lot of electricity consumption, and then they have to pay a very, very low.
More or less they are free for it.
Yeah, more or less they are free for it. And this is the thing that the whole sum, which should be distributed of many, many shoulders, the amount of the shoulders are getting lower and lower, and so the household have to pay the bill for this, and this is unfair. But it shows that the old story about the mistakes were made by the photovoltaics in 2010 and 2011 that they didn't cut off the feed-in tariffs so fast. That's the thing, we have to pay for another 20 years. Yeah. And this shows what we have to pay now for the last year for the extension of renewable energy. And it's getting lower and lower. But still, the amount is really, really huge. And that's the reason why we have only the discussing phasing on this thing.
One thing we've heard discussed very much is the $20 billion transmission project. You know, the 3 lines.
Yeah,
how will that be paid for?
So if you look at the price, a typical household price in Germany, then you have, the price in Germany is about 28 cents per kilowatt hour for a typical household, 28 euro cents. So if we are 10% higher than average Europe, that's normal in Europe, okay? If you take that, then you have today the 6 cents which are the feed-in tariff. Then you have transport, production, average production is about half of it, transport, and then you have some taxes and other things. And so that's the main, it is not the major part now, but it is the reason for the growth in the last years. So clearly the people started to discuss prices are increasing because of the feed-in tariff. But also the transport costs have increased, and also the costs for classical production have increased. But in the public awareness, the discussion was only led to the increase of the renewables. And that's clearly made also by media, people who made it very well to focus only on one part of the discussion of the whole bill of household. That's the situation. You have the blue one downstairs is transport and production. Then you have on top of that the taxes. Then this yellow one is the feed-in tariff. So, and you see that the whole time the price was increasing, but you had a jump at there. Where the jump came from the feed-in tariff, and this led the discussion mainly on the feed-in tariff, not on the discussion why the other prices increased. If you look at the price of 2000 for electricity, and you take out which was without feed-in tariff, and you see that it was at 14, and you look there now, and you see that it is at 20. The utilities don't explain you why they have increased that price. They always discuss only these 1 or 2 cents on top by the feed-in tariff.
Is there any analysis that looks at the cost of transportation of moving the feed-in tariff?
No, the feed-in tariff is not cost expensive because it's paid by the grid operator.
Right, but that isn't the grid operator cost in the transportation.
No, that's grid operator here.
Right.
And
the production. The grid operator, if you're interconnecting offshore wind, and you have to build a transmission line.
And it's here.
Right, so that should be analyzed as part of the cost.
Yeah, but they haven't done something.
Well, I'm just curious if they looked at that.
They are still building the line, so it's the costs are not yet there. And this has to be done with the Bundesnetzagentur. So the Bundesnetzagentur, because the grid is a monopoly. So the monopolistic structure of a grid leads to a price which has to be approved by the Bundesnetzagentur.
In California, we try to account for the cost, we compare the cost, not just of the project, but also of the transmission, so that, because that's the true cost. And so I'm just curious, when we talk about 20 billion euros of transmission, which is ostensibly for lots of wind in the north, how much of that is viewed as being directly allocated to?
No, but again, at this place, the price of what the real cost of the net of the grid improvement is not clear, because we have in Germany the problem first. We have a unification. There are still problems to be solved from the unification in the grid. Second, we have a transformation of the places where production is. It is not only offshore which goes to the north, it is also coal which goes to the north, because coal coming from other countries is much cheaper than coal from Germany. So Vattenfall builds its huge coal plant in Hamburg. So don't tell me that these grid lines are only there for...
No, it's a question I'm interested to know about, because the way it's presented is it's just for the renewable.
Yeah, that's not true.
Yeah, that's
and that's the reason that the people have problems with accepting it, because there is no clear analysis which shows that it is done for the Energiewende or for something environmental. Is it done for better conditions for exporting German electricity to Italy or to somewhere else? So you don't know it. No? That's due to the fact that it is hidden. Something, and you said about complaining costs, which is something which is very interesting, is that industry in Germany, huge energy using industry, has today again the price of 2005. Okay, so they are complaining, but they don't have any reason for that. So that's propaganda. So that's facts and myths. Okay, and clearly, if the guy from electricity, the guy from cement industry, and who was the copper industry in Hamburg, oh, we can't pay the prices more. He gets the same price as 10 years ago. So it's no reason to go to another place of the world. But it is a political, partly also ideological discussion which is running at this time. Okay, so
I mean, some energy prices went up for the industry, but these are natural gas prices, because the fossil fuel price went up.
Yeah.